Hello, guys. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm hoping it's all connecting okay. Okay, you can. Okay, good. Has anyone talked? Can somebody talk? Say hi. This is a Q&A. I need to know that everyone can hear me okay. Okay, amazing. Awesome. So I'm going to get started in just a moment. I'm just going to give another minute for people to jump in because sometimes using YouTube for lives can take people a moment just to jump in. So I'm going to give everyone a moment to come in, and then we're going to get chatting. Alrighty. Alrighty. All right. So let's get talking about the Gentle Sleep Academy. So this, some could say, has been 12 and a half years in the making. I've worked as an infant and toddler sleep consultant for over 12 years now, since my little Scarlett was a very unsettled newborn. And that's how I ended up getting into this space. I'm actually in Scarlett's bedroom right now because the kids are all home from school and out and about, out in the lounge and everything. And so I wanted to come on, talk about what's going to be in the academy, what it involves, what it's all about, because there are a few online sleep courses, but for so many years I've been asked, like, will you mentor me? Can you, will you train? What company do you recommend? And I've always said that I actually don't recommend any of them. And it hasn't been because obviously I've been saying that for years. I had this in the making back then. There was never any other like agenda that I had. I just didn't genuinely recommend any of them. And in fact, the reasons why I haven't is because I've come up to so much issues with um, mums, obviously, mainly being stuck with how to do the work once they have trained online, copying a lot of IP. So taking a lot of work from me and trying to apply it because they feel lost and stuck. And a number of other things. And just to give you guys an example, I had a lady who copied a lot of my stuff a few years ago, so much so that it became a legal matter because it was so big. And she'd done one of these online courses and then just felt so lost afterwards. But she copied it for years. And in 2.5 years, she made $300,000, just to give you an idea. So I literally, but it wasn't because of the online course. It was because she copied word for word everything that I had created. And I don't say that at all to be like, oh, about her, that's long gone. But just to give you an idea, when you have somebody mentoring you, which essentially I was just not knowingly, when you have the right tools, this work is not only purposeful, like honestly, it is incredible to connect with mums every day, to change their life, to work with their families, to save marriages. But also, it has given me the honestly life that I have dreamt of with my family. Financially, you could look to make between 5, 6, and 7 figures. No worries. It's literally energy in, clients out, right? Because you will have the right way of doing this. And so for so many years, I didn't recommend a sleep course. I always said, I'm sorry, I don't mentor. And I'm sorry, I don't recommend anyone in particular. I went and trained from a Canadian lady and invested 19,000. It was either between 17 and 19,000 initially to train with her and to go overseas to do a training course with her. And that at the time was definitely the best option that was out there. Now, during our academy Academy. We're going to have 3. Hi, guys. There's highs popping in. We are going to have 3 days together. Now, during those days, I am not just going to set you apart with some sleep, skills like that, the baby sleep program, the toddler sleep program, all the things. It is in depth. There is so much in the mentoring that we will do for 6 months on. You will come to me and say, hey, Tara, I've got this client. They're doing this, but I'm stuck with that. I didn't have that. I was literally left to be like, oh my gosh. And the first year was like, and my consultants still come to me and they're like, hey, this is going on. Girls, what do you think about this, that sort of thing. And we're always going back and forth because no 2 babies are the same, right? And so we will have these 3 days where I will talk to you about the foundations, what we're doing, how to do it, all of the intricacies that we don't get to share with every single client because it depends on what's going on for their little ones. But I will be sharing it all with you. 12 years of literal experience in this field. I'm still doing it to this day. I will be giving away to you. Literally, so you can go and create your own clients and do what you want to do, or you can apply and come work with us. So that academy first day will be around baby sleep, attachment with babies, biology around sleep, that sort of thing. The second day we're shifting into attachment. We've got a family therapist coming in and a family psychologist coming in. She's going to talk about attachment, working with parents, any sort of tricky clients, that sort of thing. We've got somebody to come in that day later on to talk about AI, so how you can incorporate it in your business, be that writing emails, setting up your content guide for the month, creating guides. Because once you do this, you can literally just decide, hey, I just want to have an e-shop on Etsy. I just want to create some guides. I'm happy for it to bring me in $2,000 a month on guides. Cool. You can go and do that. You might be like, I'm just really happy with 3 clients a week, which is anywhere really between 1,500 and 3,000, right? So you could sort of say, I want to do this with it. I want to do that with it. And then, I'm going to do that. And you can find the things that work with you. You might be like, Tara, I want to work with you on contract. Give me this many clients a month, for example. And so then we've got a lady coming in to talk about AI, how to incorporate that in your business. We've got a man coming in to talk about business, so how to set it up. Because so much, like, this is tax deductible. Once you start this business, your power bill, your all the things that you use at home, your phone bill, your petrol, your car loan, like all of those things become things that you can incorporate into your tax. It's unbelievable to have a business that you work from home for, right? You don't have the overheads of a business. You don't have this, where you've got to set up and do a shop fit out for 300,000 to start with, have staff, all of that. You don't have any of that. You can decide how little and how big. And in these businesses, you could be making 60 grand a month, right? If you really want to, but that obviously takes a lot of work, right? And so you can decide, and it doesn't come without you putting in the effort, right? And during the academy, we will go through how to get these clients. Instagram, I can't tell you, it is mind-blowing what I put together for you guys for Instagram. It is literally like what you do on your profile, how you get the clients, what reel you make, what post you make. If you're not somebody who's got on camera, it does not matter. We will go through that. If you're going to start with 5 followers, it does not matter. I'm going to teach you how to outsource, like how to create resources. When I started, it cost like $8 grand to set up a website. Now you can get somebody on Fiverr to do it like for $300. It's crazy. So I will teach you through all of those things. I will tell you what to do. I will tell you what not to do. I've spent literally over $100,000 in developing my toolkit, and especially in business. I have wasted over half of that. I'm not even kidding. I reckon I've probably thrown down the drain probably about $75,000 in business that I wouldn't have said, working with them paid off. I spent $13,000 for 3 hours one time on a business coach who was going to change my business, and he didn't change my business. But I've learned things. I've learned a lot of things. I have learned the what to do's, what not to do's. We're established your name essentially by doing this. It's straight away, no online course training, qualified through the Gentle Sleep Academy. People are going to be looking for these consultants just like they used to look for the Canadian lady back in the day, right? And so I'm going to open it up to questions. Now, what's going to happen, the way that it works, because I know this is going to be a part of it, is we're going to have 3 days of the academy. You can do that via Zoom Live if you want to join us in there. Now, we have got the best spot. It's Tompkins on Swan. It is beautiful to have this academy if you can take the 3 days. When I trained, Scarlett was 10 months old. I took a bet. I spent $19,000 of money that we didn't have back then, right? I was on mat leave. I get it. But we found that money because something told me I should do it. And now, like the financial abilities that I've been able to give our family, even as a single mum, we could stay in the same home. They could stay in the same school. I didn't have to, like, go to work full time and put my kids into daycare and all the things, right? And so we've got 3 days at Tompkinson Swan where everything will be set up. The speakers are coming in. They'll come in and talk to us. If you're watching Zoom live, of course, you'll be there for the action. If you've got to go away and, make a bottle or whatever, you can, but try and see what you can do for these 3 days. Then what will happen from there is then we'll have essentially a set thing where we'll be live together once a fortnight for the first 2 months. So you'll have those touch points. Then after that, we'll be live together once every month. And so during that time, not only are we troubleshooting case studies, how to get the clients, because it takes time to build up your clientele, but also at the same time, there'll be further education. So I'm continuing to educate. So you just block out this, whatever period of time we need for that fortnight or for that month. And it doesn't matter if your babes are in the background, that's fine. It's no different to our current staff meetings. And so you'll be able to do it that way as well. If you can't make it for the 3 days, we will have it where you can watch it back. But I do want everyone to try their best. When I trained, it had to be in person. So I spent that money. I left Scarlett for 3 days. If anyone knows me, I die. I can't leave my kids for like 5 hours. And really committed to it. And so, yeah, but have I looked back? Never, not once for a second. And most of all, obviously, it gives you the opportunity to be able to also do purposeful work. So the course is going to be $13,999. That's what it's going to be for the entire qualification, for all of your business stuff, for the speakers, for the days, for the books that you're going to be getting, like for all of the guides that you're going to be getting, for the ongoing support, and then the mentoring for 6 months. You will also get for this 6-month period me on Voxer. I don't know if you guys have seen Voxer. It is the best. You push a button, it's like a walkie-talkie on this app. Hey, Tara, my client's doing this. What shall I do here? Hey, Tara, I'm stuck with this. What shall I do here? And I'll be able to Voxer you as much as I can on Monday to Friday, right? So it'll be essentially not just those touch points fortnightly, but also monthly. And you will need that because there'll be times you'll be like, hey, like, how do I get this client? I am in this group, right? And it's one of the online sleep training groups. And they're just in there together trying to work it out, right? And it is an absolute schmozzle. And the questions and the answers, I'm like, this is actually not okay. Like I often find myself answering their questions because I'm like, please don't let that baby cry for this long. Or please don't do that. Like you need to do this and that. So I don't want that. I don't want people going out feeling like, yeah, I've paid this money. Now I'm stuck, And the reason why I've priced it at that, for sure, I could be like, let's do an online course for $4,000 or $5,000, which some of them sit around. But then you're lost. I want my name to stay in good company, right? I want people who realize that they're going to have to put that effort in. I want people somebody asked me, what am I looking for? And I just said a well-rounded person. You're going to be dealing with emotional mums. I will walk you through that. I literally would stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, right, guys? Like literally stressed about how my client was going, or she was so upset on the phone. She was so like narky with me. Like, how do I manage that? You won't have any of that because I'll be like, this is okay. We're going to do this. And then we're going to do that, And so 12 years of experience, hundreds of thousands of dollars into everything, more hours than I could ever put a number to, probably close to about 10,000 or more clients now. Actually probably more above that. And also really incredible connections. So how do we create connections with baby companies? How do we create connections with, pediatric facilities? And so really going through all of that as well, templates, guides, the whole lot, you'll get it all. So let's go for questions. Who's got questions? Sorry. I wanted to get that out first because I know that everyone's been like, what about this? So yes, tell me. Oh, I love that. So, what has been your biggest hurdle with engaging clients and turning into securing work? You are going to come across people who think that you should either work for free. They're like, do you actually charge? I'm like, no, I just do this for fun. The biggest hurdle is actually that it takes a little bit of time to get those first clients in. Now, here's what I can promise you. When you do a good job with these initial clients, they will tell their friends. That is the great part about mums. It is also the scary part. You need to make sure that your service is good, that you are upfront. And we will go into this. great detail. You're upfront about expectations. I will literally tell you all the hard lessons I've learned with clients over 12 years. So if a client says, I want it super gentle and this and that and that, well, we're going to come up first with the expectations. Okay, I'm happy to be super gentle. What I want to say first is, what are your goals? Because if we do this, this is the outcome. Do you know what I mean? And so basically what I would say is the biggest hurdle has been the biggest hurdle for me was getting my name out to begin with. And that just takes a little bit of time. So I'm not going to come here and be like, if you sit on your couch and scroll Insta all day, like you're going to find clients. Like you need to, and I literally have a thing coming, which has got like a poster of like all the things I want you to do. But they won't take long each. It might be that you start to post once a day. It might be that you first tell your family and friends. But as soon as you start to work with that client, honestly, word of mouth to this day is my number one. And it's very rare to find a business. Most businesses are set like they forget about you, right? But with mums, they talk in their play group. And you guys, a lot of you will have young babes, which almost seems like a deterrent. It is not. It is not. I'm telling you, it makes me more nervous that my kids are getting older now, because when I was back with younger kids, to anywhere sort of baby up to 6 years of age, doesn't matter if you've got older ones too, but you are in the thick of circles. You can talk, you tell your friends, you get them to share it on posts, you tell your client, hey, you happy to share a testimonial? That social proof, word of mouth, all of that is how you turn them into clients that you end up working with. And it actually working, having a really good effective thing. And then just essentially asking for those things. We will go into more detail about this, asking for that review, sending out certain emails, like things like that, putting out a post on social, that sort of thing is really important. The Academy is going to be held on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of May. Now, I'm going to triple check I got those days wrong. Right? Jesus. I'll make sure I got them wrong for you. 27th, 28th, and 29th of May. Alrighty, those are the 3 days. So live Zoom, in person, and watch back if you want. But I'd really love for you to try and join us there. I think it's just going to be a totally immersive experience. So that's when they're going to be held. Yeah, there's going to be an application form. So you're going to fill it in. We have people who are locked in already, even like they know everything about it, that have asked us. Sorry, when I say locked in, as in they want to commit to it. We haven't chosen anybody yet. I want this to be super fair. I want to feel like we've got the right people. So like I said, I'm just looking for well-rounded, just good humans who have a bit of a laugh, because to be honest, there's every chance you're going to end up, let's call it like, mixing or coming into our circle of Gentle Sleep and our consultants, and they are freaking legends. So yeah, that you'll apply, fill in the application, and then we go from there. Oh, easy. So Gemma, what do you estimate time commitment to be weekly in the course? So firstly, after the initial 3 days, we're only having fortnightly meetings for the first month, right? So, and guys, like, I never got these, but I want these. So for the first month, we're meeting every second week. And so then we'll have that. And that might be 1 to 2 hours, maybe 1.5 hours, depending on how much we want to go through and the education involved in that time. Then after that, it's only once a month. But in between, there's modules that you can watch. So for example, you'll be able to watch back the course. You'll be able to go, okay, straight to AI. What do I need to know here? Yep, I'm going to take a few more notes today. You might be like, hey, Tara, I'm putting myself out here. I haven't got much here. What should I do next? And that's where you'll do the Voxer. So there's really not too much. You'll be able to do it around full-time work. Alana, sorry, Alana, I'm going to assume. Is social media hard to manage? As you get bigger, it is. But financially, as you get bigger, you can use resources. So by the time that it's big enough for it to be really quite tricky to manage, you can usually outsource certain things. AI is going to be like, it's going to blow our minds in this space anyway. So it will take over a bit of that hard, like lifting stuff. Like you can literally automate, like, want my free guide, say free guide, and it just sends it and you have nothing to do with it. And then you have an email sequence set up at the back end of that. But I will teach you all through that. We have the most amazing girl coming to talk about market, like how to do your email sequence, how to do like your flows. So when somebody comes into your ecosphere, whatever, you go, okay, here's their first email that's sent out. Here's their second email that gets sent out. And so you're nurturing them each step of the way. She's going to teach you how to do that. Guys, like, I can't even tell you. It took me like 10 years to get my freaking head around funnels. And don't be overwhelmed. You can be tech illiterate. I am. And I am going to make it so that you freaking understand it. It's so simple. Because what happens is when you get a sleep degree on a line, you get sent out. Everyone's saying, do this for your team, do this to grow, do this to get clients, conversions, what conversions, do this. By the end of it, I was like, I don't even understand anything because I'm so overwhelmed. I am literally going to be like, here's the decipher, like, here's how we go through all of this. Here's how you set it up. This is all you need here. Forget that. When people are telling you this, you can come to me and be like, is this worth it? And I'll be like, get rid of them, that sort of thing. So social media, no. When you first start, if you don't like camera, create some good reels, take some photos, put some text on top. Yes, it takes a little bit, and yes, it's worth building it up, right? For our Instagram piece, you will receive an entire booklet, like a home booklet, solid booklet that you will take home to be like, here's how you should set up your bio. Here's what we'd recommend posting per week. And you might set up, okay, I'm gonna post once every 4 times a week, let's just say. So 3 days I'm not. At the start of the week, you might decide what those posts are going to be on. I recommend setting aside a little bit of time and going, right, let's do this. Do I do that every week? No, I don't do that every week, but I do recommend doing that where you can, because it'll just take that mental load off each day rather than just trying everything. But the good thing is, guys, is that, so once upon a time, I spent $7,500. So when I talk about that $100,000, I'm talking that's just on coaching. That's not including all the other thousands I've wasted. I once spent $7,500 per month because this person promised to go in my socials, right? And all these videos were curated. They had the perfect cover. It all matched my brand. And my scenes were like 4,000. I was like, you effing kidding me? And then I went and put me stirring a pot and was like, didn't have the childhood I wish I, had, and you make it yourself. And it went viral. So social media is a beast in its own, but it is not all about curated effort. Let me tell you, people don't care for it. They don't care for it. The more organic you can be, the better. So then what would happen is, in terms of payments, I know I have done my research. So the past week, since this first came up, obviously we've been preparing the academy long before that, but the payment plans, I work through Kajabi, and Kajabi have payment options, but you would need to pay it from, let's just say you join tomorrow, because we're opening the spots tonight. Let's just say you join tomorrow. You would need to pay it off by the end of May, or at least 75%, right? And I need to triple check a few things. So you'd get, maybe, is it close to like 2 months, let's just say, to pay it off, right? Because so that's one thing. I've tried. So Afterpay, all of that, it's like got a limit. I think it's like not much. So that won't work. I think it's like $2,000 for Afterpay. I tried another company, which is an outsider company, and they do add a fee, but I was like, okay, well, maybe we can still give that option. But there was some like legality in Australia with using that. So that didn't work. So my recommendations are to literally see if the payment plan works for you. My next recommendation is, it sounds terrible, but like, is there family? Is there family we can say, hey, I've got this business opportunity. This is what I want to do. There are no overheads. It literally might only take me 14 clients or up to 20 clients to earn it back. Can I do this payment with you over a certain period of time? Seeing your bank, mortgage offset, like, often sometimes we've got some equity or whatever, like there might be lines there that you can take, but it will be up to you guys to primarily source that. I can only offer the Kajabi payment, and I will get back to you guys more in detail around that. Please let me know if you're 100% in, but you're like, hey, I just need, $4,000 off, or whatever else it might be. I really have looked into this. It is very hard to find a company that will take on the risk that works in here for Australia, because also the academy has to be earning, like the academy alone, not the gentle sleep sessions, over $1 million a year. And it's just started, and I don't have any intention of running this again at this point. I really don't. So I don't know if I will down the track, but at the moment, is the academy alone bringing $1 million a year? No, it's not. So that's right. Oh, so branding ideas, techniques for engagement, that is our jam. We are covering all of that in our 3 days. Do not worry. And as we go along as well. Um, so here's the deal. You will become a gentle sleep certified like academy person, right? There is no governing board. So you don't remain under a contract with me. Okay. Legally, you won't be able to. So you can go and scale your life up. I am handing you the freaking keys to take over my business, as in, like, go and compete and off you go. And so, really, the 6 months is the mentoring, the coaching, that sort of thing. You're not under a contract with me. Okay. In fact, you're going to sign something that says you're not under a contract with me. You're going to become that you qualified, you certified through our business. But I promise you, there will be no um, fine print. That is not in my nature. Like, you know what? One of the things is going to be about the Sleep Academy is that essentially I, as in being in business, is being a really good human being. And I can guarantee you that you ask any company, Ergo Pouch, DocaTot, Red's Baby, all the leading baby sleep brands in Australia that I work with, and they will be like, "Oh my gosh, Tara, I love Tara." And I'm not honestly ringing my bell. I'm saying because I'm just genuine. I don't take money from them when I write for them. I'm happy to do this or that. So I am absolutely not here to be like, "Oh, I'm going to have this fine print that you owe me money in 5 years' time." It's not the case, which is why the course is $14,000, because you have the potential to make 100 grand a year in whatever you choose. It might be 1 to 2 years, however much you want to put in, or you just have the ability to make what feels comfortable to keep you at home with your babies, if that's what you want to do. That's what this is about. It's not endorsed by the Australasian Sleep Association because there is no governing board. So the reason that I'm not under that is because, firstly, here's the deal. None of my consultants have ever been asked who they trained through. I never get asked who I trained through. I became qualified 100%, but no one asked. No one really bothers to ask ever, to be honest, in our experience. So that's one thing. It's really, people know it's not governed, right? Which is why sleep consulting can have, that's why you work to, Circle of Security, or there's other things you might want to add. You guys can finish this and then go and become endorsed or certified under them. And it's obviously a lot cheaper to then just get that. And you can say, I've worked with this many clients. This is what I do, that sort of thing. I don't know what it takes, like what other, things that they might ask of you to become accredited. But usually you can do that once you've qualified or certified, so to speak. So you will have that, but it actually really overall, what you need is the training, the expertise, the mentoring, the business, the do's and don'ts. That's what sets you apart. From there, it's people aren't asking for that certificate. They really aren't. And so you will have that, hey, I qualified, or, if somebody asks, yeah, I studied through the Gentle Sleep Academy. And that will be the end of that, essentially. It really doesn't change anything for us. I actually spend my money making sure that we have on team a family psychologist, another psychologist on team, making sure Circle of Security parenting facilitators, hey, Sam, go and do this course, like that sort of thing. So yeah, minimum requirements. There really are, when we say minimum requirements, I'm not looking for somebody to have to be a nurse to require to apply, if that's sort of what you're meaning. I'm not really looking for that. I love the idea of somebody having some pediatric backgrounds and things like that. However, we have one of our people on as a contractor with us who didn't have, a small pediatric background, but not, and she is freaking phenomenal. Like, she is mama bear, warmest, most effective. Like, she's amazing. And so I don't, I used to think if I ever did this, it would have to be people who are in that space. I will know in my gut from your applications whether or not I feel you're right. And as we go along, if there are things that I'm like, hey, I really think that you need to be a bit softer around this, or when I say softer, I just mean a bit warmer. Let me just turn the fan on, guys. I'm dying. Sorry, guys, 2 secs. Oh, it's so hot in this room. So if there's things where I'm like, hey, like, maybe the client's feeling this, or maybe the client's, but you'll get a lot of training around emotional intelligence or picking up, reading the cues. I've never hired based on much more than gut. Yes, we ask the right questions. Yes, I will ask the right questions in your application. Yes, I want you to have a really big heart. And I also need you to be somebody who knows how to have some boundaries, because otherwise tired mamas early, they will take like in a good way, but they're just, desperate at that point. And so I would teach you both and train you for what I want to set you out with, to go out there and flourish. And if there's things that I'm like, hey, like, I think being a little bit more warm around this, or just coming from a bit more understanding, or being a bit more compassionate, or things like that, I will absolutely tell you. I'm the warmest and also the most direct, and or both. So you will know all of that. And a lot of you guys would have had contact with me somehow, most likely anyway. So you understand that I can be firm and kind at the same time. So we'll go through that. The application will be sent out via email. That will be sent out this evening, probably in a few hours. I will send that out. Don't stress. You've got, I think I can't even remember what I said it to, maybe 4 or 5 days that will be open. So yeah, jump in, fill it out. Yeah, Dana, I love that. My ideal candidate, like I said, I think I've covered that. I want warm and kind, and I also want somebody who just has that emotional intelligence, like who can read a room a bit, and who just is well-rounded. Like, especially if you're going to apply to come on our team, I just think we just need people who can have a little bit of a laugh, and like they're just actually just really good chicks, really good girls who are just really well-rounded. So we have a lot of fun in our group, and like when we catch up, it's very fun, and we're all mama bears as well, like very loving and that sort of thing as well. Yes. So here's the deal with working for me. So basically, once you qualify, let's call it, or even once you finish your 3 days, you could say, hey, Tara, my intentions are to hopefully come on by contract. Now, if you come on by contract, that means that a percentage of everyone we give you, I take a percentage of. That is because, to put it frankly, I'm putting all the money and effort, all the talks, all the relationships, all of that to getting those clients. And then I give them to you. And then you go off with the client. And obviously we stay. We're always back and forward. We're always in contact. You're in our circle, essentially. So there's that option to do that. And I will get more into detail with that if you decide that that's what you want to do. Or alternative, like I said, there's no strings attached. You can go off and create your own business, and pop in every now and then into my inbox and tell me how you're going, right? Don't be fooled. There's work to do when you first finish. You need to get your name out there. But I can honestly say that once I started, it was just like, oh, my friend used you. Oh, my friend used you. And like I said, especially if you do have younger kids, you are amongst those circles, So we will talk. I will talk about like how you need to get things out, how you need to tell people, how you need to connect. There are babies born all the time. It is such a, it doesn't matter the economy. It doesn't matter. There are babies born and parents are tired. It is the number one thing that they struggle with postpartum. Feeding to some degree comes into play initially, but sleep deprivation is by far the longest lasting pain spot for so many parents. And we have 6 contractors on board at the moment, and when we're busy, I honestly am like screaming for more. So yeah, there'll be opportunities for sure. So yeah, I think that's it. Let me know if you've got any other questions. I hope I answered your questions okay. I hope that you can hear the sincerity. I'm really actually very excited for this. I feel like it gives me an opportunity to do something different, work a bit more like on a different page to what I'm used to, and I'm really, really excited about it. And I honestly have taken so much pride in this academy. Like, I can't even tell you the people that I've got coming in to talk, like just covering all the different aspects. I literally have an accountant coming to talk to you about, like, set this up. Here's what you want to do with tax, like blah, blah, blah. When you're earning more than $100,000 or more than 70,000, I need to check. This is why I have people. Make sure you register for GST, like all of that, right? So he's going to come in and talk to you guys about how to set it up and how to do it well. But honestly, just the benefits in terms of the tax deductions and things like that, like every however many years, they're like, get a new car, Tara, you need a tax write-off. I'm like, okay, I will. But obviously it takes time to get there, but it is amazing. And I genuinely can say that seeing my consultants, one is traveling Australia at the moment. The other one lives between here and Augusta to be with her parents because she misses them every other week. The other one has, takes holidays here, and they're like, I can honestly say that seeing that I've created something that has given kids their parents, back in ways. Obviously, if you still need to work in the meantime. And that's the thing, guys, you can still work full time. I worked still as a nurse. I didn't do too many shifts, but I still worked as a nurse. And then on my lunch break, I'd call my clients and then it was done. So really with your client, you have an initial consult. Now, if you're working full time, you might make that consult at 6 a.m. on a Wednesday morning on your way to before you go to work because they're over East, for example, or vice versa. Or you might sort of make that consult on a Saturday morning, get it, that done. So you've got the weekend still. And then it's only your follow-up calls, which might take 10 minutes in a day, right? As in for each client. So really you've got a lot of time around that to still do your other work. It's not like suddenly you're thrown into something full-time and you're taking a risk, right? Now, when you think about it, for most people in a span of life, $14,000, and I don't want to say this insensitively. I don't know if I hope I don't. I remember calling my broker, my mortgage broker, who's a mortgage broker, but he just knew me. And I was on mat leave and my husband at the time didn't earn like crazy money at all. And I said to him, is this going to we're going to lose our house over this? Like, is this going to set us back? He was like, Tara, this is not going to be the thing that shifts your life, this amount of money, but it could make it. And that's what he said to me. And he was the one that gave me the permission because I don't think I would have unless he said I literally give you financial permission to do this, right? And so he was the one that said to me, take this leap. And that's why I did. And I mean, I can't even fathom being able to be there for every single thing for my kids and earn the money, the money that I've been able to earn, right? But of course, it has taken work, of course, to begin with. But I could also say that if you don't want to quit your jobs right now, you can work part-time and start to build this on the side and just find your happy medium as well. Whereas this just became my thing. And it's given me opportunities not only to not miss anything, not only to keep my babies in their house when my ex-husband left at the time, but it's also given me the opportunity to grow in a lot of ways, parenting ways, personal development ways. I wouldn't have done, if I didn't start my own business, I can't even comprehend how much it's made me grow as a human being, both in understanding people, personal development for courses to be able to up level, upskill, how to manage people, all the things, the creativity side of things. So it has literally given me so much freaking opportunity in lots of ways. It's not just all financial. I am a better mum because I did this business by far. I know I would have been a great mum otherwise because I'm obsessed. But yeah, it really has given me many opportunities to grow and evolve as a human as well. So yeah. Awesome. Any questions that you think of afterwards, please feel free to send me a DM on Insta or to send me an email, whatever suits. Just reach out. I'm here. I'm honestly the most personable person. So even if you say to me hey, I need to pay this one or I'm stuck with this or whatever, please just reach out. And big love for you guys for being here today. So yeah, hopefully I'll hear from you guys soon. Thanks so much. And any questions, just let me know. Oh, pleasure, guys. Pleasure. My pleasure. Big love, guys. I hope you have a really good night. I think that my dinner's burning in the oven, so I'm going to run and I was going to shout out before, turn the oven off. So yeah, big love, guys. I'll be in touch very soon. Bye.